Games Workshop has just announced that they will be releasing pre-painted terrain kits alongside Warhammer 11th edition. And there's been a huge reaction to this announcement, with opinions varying from doe-eyed optimism to full-blown Sarah Connor black pill takes. As somebody who loves Warhammer and has spent a ton of time building and teaching others how to build your own scratch-built Warhammer terrain, I have a lot to say about this topic. First of all, let's have a look at what they've teased so far. I'll be honest, it looks quite good. They've shown some sci-fi ruins with a pretty tasteful color scheme and a surprising amount of interesting details. Most notable, I would say, is this piece with the computer screens and the servitor in the center of it. It's quite impressive looking. This announcement seems to have come unexpectedly on the back of some leaks of some pictures of the pre-painted sprues for these pieces. It's unclear at this time if this means that the models will be fully assembled when you buy them, or you'll still have to assemble them at home. So I have some mixed feelings about this. Obviously, the appeal of this is that you can get a great looking battlefield with a lot less effort, and that is nothing to sneeze at. It takes a lot of time and effort to make a great looking table of Wargames terrain. Especially if you're painting official Games Workshop terrain kits, they have a serious amount of detail on them. Some could argue too much detail, and it can take dozens of hours to paint a full set. The Gallowdark terrain, for example, comes to mind. Rather than make simple sci-fi corridors, Games Workshop goes for this maximalist design style, and those walls are packed with screens, consoles, wire lights, and skulls. And every bit of that detail adds more steps to the painting process and thus more time. Pre-painted terrain would obviously skip this step and allow you to have a fully painted table of terrain in a fraction of the time. And this is not exactly a new idea. There are tons of other pre-painted or pre-colored terrain items on the market. TT Combat has their Chroma line of terrain, which is printed MDF with color printed on top of it. Mantic has their Terrain Crate stuff, and Gale Force 9 has their Battlefield in a Box range, which is fully painted 3D terrain cast in resin. This actually isn't even the first time Games Workshop has sold pre-painted terrain either. Back in 2004, they had a kit called the Chapel of Sanctuary that came pre-painted. And of course, when they used to sell trees and hills, those items came pre-painted right out of the package. I also seem to remember that they at one point sold an Amon Hen or Weathertop set for Lord of the Rings that was pre-painted, but I can't find any record of that, so it's possible that was Mandela effect. But you could also look at something like the old Necromunda terrain, which was color-printed card pieces along with some other plastic pieces, which allowed players to set up a dense table of pretty cool-looking full-color structures right out of the box. The point for all of these was ultimately to get new players playing faster and right out of the box, and ultimately, that's a good thing. So if this is nothing new, why is there such a visceral reaction from the community, and why does this one feel different? Well, because this terrain appears to be painted with a new technology. And that technology could mean that a big change is coming to Warhammer. And we'll dig into that in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the sponsor of this video, Into the AM. Into the AM makes high-quality graphic tees and basics, like the one that I'm wearing here. The quality is really great, they fit well, and they're really comfortable. By the way, shout out to Gen Z for bringing back the oversized tee trend just in time for me to hit my mid-30s horizontal growth spurt. That totally rules. You actually can't even tell how melted my physique is under this shirt. I just look young and cool and muscular, actually. These are genuinely my favorite shirts, and I wear them all the time now. You can wear them out, you can wear them in, you can dress them up, you can dress them down. You can even wear them to hold your new little baby, and she puts her head right here and nuzzles her face against the soft, high-quality fabric. It totally rules. And the best news is these basics are available in bundles at a great price on Into the AM's website. So use my link in the description below and get some for yourself. Thanks Into the AM for sponsoring this video. So, what is the new technology behind this pre-painted terrain? Let's go back to the pieces and I'll tell you what I mean. So if you zoom in on the pieces, you'll see a grainy, speckled looking texture. And this gives me an indication that what they've used here is something called UV printing. UV printing is a process where microscopic dots of tinted UV resin are sprayed onto the plastic sprue and then cured hard with UV light. It's a pretty cool process, and we've seen some other hobby companies dip their toe into this in the past. Archon Studios, for example, released a range of fully painted dungeon tiles a few years ago. Blackmagic Craft did a great video on it. I'll link that video below in case you're interested in learning a bit more about the technology. The big thing that has many people concerned about this is the implication. If they can pre-paint a terrain sprue, does that mean that fully painted miniatures are coming? Are the days of model painting over because miniatures will come pre-painted? Well, I don't think so. Let me explain why. First of all, the bar is currently on the floor in terms of the standard for Wargames terrain. People who enjoy the competitive gaming aspect of the hobby are seemingly happy to play with completely featureless terrain as long as the dimensions are correct. If you have limited hobby time, as everyone does, it's perfectly natural to spend most of your time painting your own army. And a lot of the time, good-looking terrain becomes an afterthought. To me, this is like having no furniture except a mattress on the floor. Like, it's fine if you're young or you just moved in or something, but after a while, it's kind of like, damn, you live like this? But I'm not unsympathetic to why this happens. Painting one table of terrain is a huge task. For a tournament organizer to get 40 tables or so of terrain together is positively Herculean. And a lot of people who play in tournaments are just busy hobbyists who want to get together on the weekend and roll some dice and have a good time, and a simple and unfancy terrain setup is usually good enough for them. This is not to say there aren't tournaments that look incredible. There are plenty of tournament organizers who do go above and beyond to make sure that every table looks fantastic, and I have all the respect in the world for them and the effort that they put in. The problem is that games with simple terrain don't look very good. And to me, this is why this product is being released. This will be the terrain that will be on display when you go into a Warhammer store. This product makes sense in the context of Games Workshop wanting their official tournaments to look good, and also to have a set of great looking terrain in every single one of their flagship stores, so when people come in to do a demo game or to browse, they are immediately impressed with what they see. Second, I absolutely do think this means painted miniatures are coming to Games Workshop. The question remains of how expensive it will be and how good they will look. It seems like UV printing is still in its infancy, and as I mentioned before, it produces this undesirable grainy texture that in the leaked photos looks much worse than in the official promotional ones they released. To be fair, these leaked photos could have been an early test or something that wasn't calibrated properly that failed quality control. It's kind of beside the point. In any event, it's reasonable to assume that this technology will continue to improve and will do so rapidly. So yes, I think that one day soon, players with a little bit of extra money will be able to buy a fully painted army from Games Workshop. In this hobby, I think sometimes people often forget that literally every other collectible is available already painted or already colored. So, to be honest, that's just kind of the industry standard. So, will this make miniature painting obsolete? Here's the thing. In a way, miniature painting has kind of been obsolete already since like the 90s with the improvements in video games. If you want to control a science fiction army, for example, you no longer need to build and meticulously paint one. You could just play a game like StarCraft. Or if you wanted to make it even easier, you could find somebody on TaskRabbit to play StarCraft for you. But this is a hobby. It's voluntary. It's fun. It's leisure time. Personally, the thing that rubbed me the wrong way about this video was when this guy, his name's Aiden, by the way, I met him at Adepticon a few years ago. He seems like a nice guy, but he looks at the camera and he goes, I love painting terrain, but I didn't have to paint any of this.
I love painting terrain, but I didn't have to paint any of that.
Like it's a chore, like it's, brother, you don't have to do any of the hobby at all. Well, to be fair, he works for Games Workshop, so it is his job, so that's a little bit different. What I'm getting at is that there's a sentiment that I see all the time where people start to see aspects of the hobby as grueling tasks. Your unbuilt collection of miniatures becomes your pile of shame, and your unfinished projects becomes a source of guilt that stifles your creative energy. I'm guilty of it myself. I was complaining like 2 videos ago about how long it takes to assemble modern Warhammer miniatures, and I constantly live in the shadow of my unfinished 7-foot Titan. The point is, people can already outsource parts of their hobby if they so choose. They can get armies commission painted, for example, and this is simply one more step towards automating that process. For me though, my favorite aspect of this hobby is seeing when people create something new. New glimpses into corners of fantastic worlds, new variations on classic ideas, new imaginative characters, new evocative paint schemes. When somebody shows you their creative work, you get an insight into their mind, and you get a small glimpse into a piece of their soul. I've never been impressed with a large collection of manufactured goods, and I know I'm not alone in this. A pre-painted army will be almost as uninteresting to me as an unpainted one. In an increasingly slop-filled and automated world, this hobby contains a burning beacon of creative energy that won't go away with the advent of pre-painted miniatures. There will always be people who see their miniatures not as a chore, but as a medium of self-expression. People who want to make something that nobody has ever seen before. And I think there will always be an interest and a demand for that. So, Will pre-painted terrain help people get into the hobby? Possibly, depending on how it's priced. If it's too expensive, it'll just be another luxury item for whales. But what it won't do, I promise you, is replace creativity. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time on Eric's Hobby Workshop.